Hi everybody, back to GearGossip, back to Vahlbruch FX, German manufacturer for guitar pedals. Tonight it's the twin Tremolo. It's a twin channel tremolo unit. Before we start out with the rundown of the basic features, what does a tremolo do at all? Well, a tremolo deals with volume, not with pitch. If you're familiar with your whammy bar, commonly called tremolo units, that's plainly wrong. Tremolo deals only with the volume, not with pitch. It's not it's just keep that in mind. Anything that you want to process with this unit goes in here and leaves here. Here you're switching on and here you're changing the channel. Now for the basic dials. This is speed, depth, volume and a hard soft switch. For those not familiar with tremolos, what is happening? This is your signal, not the pitch, the level. Then you switch on and then things get chopped off. Lowered. How often it gets lowered is determined by speed. How much the signal gets lowered is depth, and hard soft is the transition. Hard transition, soft transition. And then you have a volume control. Yeah, as I said, you're chopping off bits and pieces. So if you have depth fully open, you're chopping off half of your signal. So you might want to compensate for that loss of volume, just not to get lost in your mix or whatever. So this is just compensation. Second channel has the same dials except for volume. Volume is for both channels simultaneously. To me, this is sort of a bummer because I might want to have a very subtle effect or a very hard effect. Those might need two levels of compensation, but Vahlbruch thinks it worked out pretty well this way, so who am I to disagree? 9 volt in and a battery. Here's the pretty Radio Shacky looking battery compartment, but I actually like this thing very much because it's fast. It says lift to withdraw. Lift, withdraw, change battery, put it back in. Beats a screwdriver anytime. Why should you choose this pedal? It's up to you really, but keep in mind, made in Germany, built as a brick, hardwired, handmade actually, and a pretty low signal to noise ratio. So Vahlbruch is pretty much focusing on doing things very, very good. We are only talking about changing volume. So yeah, sound is pretty much, it does not affect your sound at all. Okay, enough talking, hearing. Here we are, plugged in, seated, with my Brian May guitar and the clean signal. Okay, let's check the basic ranges that you can get. Here we are with a little bit of tremolo, pretty slow. As I mentioned, volume, not pitch. Okay, let's just sweep through the dials. First of all, the speed. That's the slowest setting. And this. Is the fastest setting. Now for the depth. I've set this thing to hard so you can hear this a little bit better. Okay, this is obviously no depth at all, so no effect. Well, a little bit of effect is still going on. As you can hear, this thing gets louder this way. This is because of the compensation, huh? You remember? And here we have a completely almost switch-like. anything in between. Now for the soft switch. Let's keep this pretty effective. So the transition is pretty much smoothed out here. So wop, 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 and not on and off. I will not cover the second channel because it's identical. The only thing that I forgot to mention is that the channel switch LED is flashing at the speed that you've selected. That's about all you can say about this. So now here comes the noodling. Some examples what you can do with the tremolo. A tremolo always has a certain rhythm to it. Yeah, of course, that wop, 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 wop. So you sometimes have problems being in rhythm with the whole thing, but it's the nature of the beast. There's no way to move around it. So better hook onto the tempo and the whole band also, especially if you have a chopping effect like this. Yeah, pretty hard to play laid back or something like this because your attack is simply cut off. But this might be welcome for something like this. Or something very hectic. The next thing would be a little bit of a crunch setting, which could mean that you're going from crunch to not that much crunch because you're changing the input of your amp. This is the crunch setting. Okay. You hear that? The louder parts get distorted by the amp. The others don't. Well, motorcycle. We have different thing to cover. This is behind the distortion unit. Ha ha ha. Things get interesting now. Back to clean, and the red in front of it. So what happens now? You have a compressed signal with a lot of sustain that you can chop to pieces as you wish to. Here we go. Okay, this is obvious, but we have different settings that get a little bit out of hand. Beautiful noise. Talking about noise, be warned. Your Pink Floyd intro is over. But I like this. So much for me noodling around on this thing. Anybody who's out there shopping for a tremolo might want to check out this thing. Hand-wired, handmade, true bypass, blah blah blah, made in Germany, built as a rock, and almost noise-free. So yeah, but it's only a tremolo, so there's not that much to say about it, except for the slightly drug-addicted noodling in the end. Find out more about this thing on Vahlbruchfx.com. Yeah, feel free to post any comments or sound files of your Vahlbruch thingy down here. The next thing I will cover is the chorus, so there's quite a lot more to say about this one, so stay tuned. See you.